Alright, we're gonna open the zoning jump car meeting tonight at 7:10.
Roll call, Jeff,
Yes.
Dan,
Yeah.
Ben.
Yes.
Okay, you guys all probably sign this sheet, but if you could sign this out of one too. Just take it through there. Okay. Barb?
I believe we have one
One.
case.
JC 00512. I did get a phone call on May 5th indicating that they were working on the white truck and we're going to be getting it moved. And the orangish looking vehicle is a collector and they're in the process of trying to move that also, but where it's sitting, he said there's a lot of water saturation and it's hard to move it until the weather clears up.
What's the location of this one?
What's the address, the actual physical address?
12077 Laurel Hill Road.
Last name on it.
Tackett, Tackett.
Is this Mr. Tackett? Mr. Tackett? Yes, sir. Okay.
I move that we take no further actions on this.
Barbara stated that you're making intent to.
Pardon me?
So Barbara stated that you're showing intent to move the vehicles.
I'm gonna drive it into town to the junkyard.
Okay. Definitely.
There's nothing wrong with it, I just wanna drive it on the road, it's not junk.
Sure. Okay, so just kind of give us a rundown what's going to happen with both vehicles, the white one and the red.
The red one's his.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Kind of give us a line, is it going to be moved or?
Well, yeah, I guess, I don't really know so much for trying to restore it.
Sure.
I guess you gotta make a clean up and you don't have anything else to do, so I thought you would have to cover it up or try to sell it or whatever.
Okay.
So,
Do you have any intentions and what are your intentions?
yeah, I can't,
Like, do you have any intentions? What are your intentions to do there? What are your plans? I mean, give us a time frame, what you're thinking. I know the weather's been wet, definitely.
I don't know anything. I'm just going to sell them, I'm not going to sell it to the first person that comes
Sure.
along just to get rid of it.
Sure, I understand.
I don't know.
Definitely.
Now what's gonna happen to us already, the 10 days has passed, what kind of a penalty are you gonna get for that?
Well, that's why we're just going to discuss it tonight. I mean, we're willing to work with you 100%.
No.
Not 100%.
Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, we're not going to
And for the fact we gotta get rid of them, it ain't 100%.
It's not that you have to get rid of them. You don't have to get rid of them.
Well, you gotta get them out of sight.
So definitely, either cover them or store them or whatever. So
When did this all start? I've lived there 40 years.
sure. Zoning, the jump car process started. How long ago, Barb, do you think?
1994 is when they first admitted.
Sir, it was implemented last year when the three trustees sitting at the
No,
time passed the
that's
resolution.
incorrect,
to
Mr.
proceed.
Corpenning, that is incorrect.
I am correct.
No, you are not correct.
That's when the resolution went
This
down.
was implemented
Excuse
when
me,
zoning
ma'am.
first came in. Stop calling me ma'am, you know who I am, okay?
I'd
I
like to
am the
have
zoning inspector, address me as I am.
the zoning inspector, I'd like to have the floor.
But you are stating incorrect information.
Hey, come on. One at a
The
time.
fact of the matter is, the resolution was passed last year, the one that they are using.
So since it was passed, we're just all of a sudden getting people calling in about it now? How do they know that?
Well, I'll state on the record, as I have in all these others, I don't feel this is what our township needs, and I don't think it's proper use of our energy and our funds. So I move to dismiss.
Could I have 4 seconds?
No,
I've got,
just wait till we're
yeah,
done.
Mike shows
Let's
you
just
what-
wait till we're done with this case, please.
Okay.
Thank you. We're going by the county guidelines. I mean, we're not doing anything that we're not supposed to. When he says that, we adopted this last year, we had a plan in place. The prosecutor advised us that we updated it. So we updated it. Okay, so that's the new standard that we're going by.
Yeah.
When he said it was, voted on, passed last year, that's what was passed, the new standard that we updated. It was just, maybe I could say the other one was kind of outdated, wasn't correct, so.
Well, it's just kind
They
of
were
funny.
acting on it before without a resolution, they put one in place and now any new ones are acted upon with the resolution.
But you
The
got
ones that they
to
did prior were not in adherence with the Ohio Revised Code.
That's not true.
So what's the penalty if you don't move it, if you just sit right there, what's the penalty?
If you don't move it, you have a certain time, and we're willing to work with you. I mean, I'm not gonna tell you you have to have it moved tomorrow, you know, 100% I'm not gonna tell you that. I mean,
What's the
there's
penalty?
penalty. It'll get turned over to the prosecutors, what'll happen. So, and they'll take legal
Well, what
action.
I'm saying, this comes into effect where they're pushing about these junk cars, and now all of a sudden, after all these years, on May 5th, we get a call, somebody's complaining, ain't nobody complaining.
Sure.
Guys are just going around looking for stuff to get.
No, that's not how.
So if we cover it with a tarp, you're okay with that?
Under that provision with that code they're using, yes.
And if
Covered.
there are specifics
Under
on the
that
tarp?
provision and with that code, that is incorrect.
Needs to be covered or removed.
With a structure is what it states.
The tarp is no, okay.
I talked to you because I allowed this gentleman over here, Mr. Corpenny's friend, to cover it with the fence and a tarp. I would allow the same thing, and I already talked to the prosecutor about it. Since I allowed one, I can allow another.
Zoning inspector, would you please read the code that you're referencing?
You have copies of those, and I'm not doing this, okay?
Why not? You're saying it's one thing and I
This
feel
is
it's
a
different.
case for them, okay? I'm not on trial here right now. We
I'm-
had this last time.
Point of order, I'd like you to read the
No,
code
no,
you're
no. You
referencing.
want my answer, I'm giving it to you.
That's a non-answer.
This is the trial.
Hey, come on. Kind of what we're here for. We're willing to work with you guys. We just need to know your intentions is what we need to know. Like I said, we're not trying to get rid of today, not trying to get rid of tomorrow. We just need to know your intentions. I mean, we've given other people time. You know, do it.
90 days worth.
So just kind of tell us what your intentions are. Are your intentions just to leave it there? Are they to
Which,
cover it?
just a point of order, what is the ORC? Do you have your letter with you that was sent to you?
Yeah, do you have it or?
I do.
I'm just looking at the deal.
What I wanna know is the penalty if I don't move it, what's the penalty?
What's the first degree misdemeanor and the fourth degree misdemeanor?
Honestly, we'd have to take that to the
That goes to the
prosecutor.
prosecutor.
Well, who's the prosecutor and where does this take place?
His name is Ken Oswald. He's
Where's
the
this-
county
Do
prosecutor.
you want to talk for me, Jeff, or do I have the floor?
You have
Do
the
you
floor.
want to talk for me?
No, I don't, I speak for
I believe I was
myself.
having a conversation with these people, okay?
Well, actually, the other ones have the same story, yeah,
Okay.
so we'd like to get the same story.
Jeff, we're
I
here
like to
to
go the opposite, follow the laws. And,
Jeff, please do not interrupt me. I'm having a
I
conversation.
don't hear you talking.
You don't. Open your
Why don't you
ears.
use the microphone?
Quiet, please. Thank you.
You are out of order, sir.
Really?
Yes, sir.
Okay, now let's have a conversation. Calm.
He's out of order.
Okay. And what question did you have?
Well, I have several, forgotten now.
Okay.
So don't go ahead and start.
We're frightened.
We just need to know what your intentions are. Like I said, we're not gonna make a move tonight, tomorrow, nothing like that. Okay?
Yeah.
So just tell us what your intentions are. I know you said one of them that you were gonna jump, correct?
Yeah, the one that runs, we're gonna have to jump it.
Well,
Nobody says you have to jump. It doesn't have to-
Why do you have to jump it?
I use it around the farm, but all the time.
You're using it on the farm.
You can't, yeah, but we can't get a farm vehicle tag on it because it's not a
One ton.
ton.
Does it have current plates on it?
No, you don't
It's
get
got
that
plates,
from
no,
farm.
it's not.
It's an option. That's got current plates.
Yeah, no, it don't.
Okay.
Mine has plates, but not up-to-date plates. 06 is the last time I drove it on the highway.
But it's a farm truck anyway. It's not out on the road. And it has not been set in the same spot as that picture.
I use it there.
Well, his truck is like a project that was in the works and is kind
The
of
red
on
one.
hold,
The
okay?
red one.
Now, since this letter has been, we received this letter, we've talked about listing it on the internet and seeing if there's somebody interested in buying it.
Sure.
We don't
That's
have any
what they
idea
got.
how long that would take,
Sure.
but we're just wanting to make sure that we get the ample amount of time to sell it without being penalized.
Sure. Definitely.
So when we walk out here, we want to know how many days are you going to give us?
Sure. Give me your opinion. What do you think it's gonna take?
I would hope in 90 days it's gone.
Okay. So if we make a motion to give you guys 90 days to remedy the problem, to either, I'm not telling you how to sell it.
90 days?
Yeah, and if you don't sell in 90 days, just talk to us, we'll work with you some more, you know.
Another 90 days.
You know what I mean?
Well, you know,
And it's
and
not
we can, I don't know about putting up a fence necessarily, just probably wait 90 days, but be willing to tarp it, you know.
The the white truck, you allowed another resident to utilize their truck on their farm with no plates, so
Sure.
do one, you gotta do for the other, so they
Should
should
I
be
ask you
allowed
a
to
question
drive
without
that.
being slammed? Are these operable vehicles?
Are they operable?
One is, one is.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, mine is, that white one, I drive it, I usually
Yeah.
haul hay out of the field and check compost and
Sure.
and cover my garden.
And as Barb said, you know, we allowed, another case to use one on the farm as a farm vehicle. You know, the only thing I ask is it, can you just show that it can move? I mean, that it's not
Well,
a
I
junk
already did.
vehicle?
It's already,
Yeah,
Okay.
no, that's,
Drove it around the place, and
Sure.
it's out back, I drove it.
Okay.
The reason why it's probably sitting in the same place as where the pictures took is because he has a certain place every winter he parks it.
Sure. Out by the road.
And that's
Definitely.
probably why.
Definitely,
Yeah.
definitely.
They're not out by the road.
The white-
It's out by the, it was out by the road now where it is normally during the summer. But
Okay.
in the winter, it's normally out kind of where my red
Yeah,
truck
but it's
is.
in back now.
Sure.
Yeah.
You don't need permission for a farm.
It's out of sight.
You don't need township's permission to have a farm vehicle.
Right, that's,
but at least we can clear this up.
right, definitely.
They'll fly over and take
But if you guys, I'm not trying to come across wrong with it, if you guys are so willing to give us whatever time we need, then it's evidently not that big of a sore eye to somebody, so what's the
They
point?
just wanted to make sure you get it taken care of.
Right.
Well, our zoning
We're
inspector,
willing to work with you guys as much as possible.
our zoning inspector refuses to tell us who the person is, so we don't know.
There was.
Well, we don't-
Driver out.
It's not that the zoning inspector.
We don't care.
It's the zoning inspector is not allowed.
That's okay, we don't care about
Okay.
it.
So we don't know that it's
It's not
not
ours
anyway.
It doesn't matter.
We don't know that.
It's a,
Jenny, can you please produce what I showed you? I'd like something done. Number 2, step 2.
What
Step 2.
board designee shall inspect, what do you want?
Township zoning inspector or the board designee should be inspect, whatever. I don't want to do this anymore, so find one of you people to do it. It has to be a paid employee. But if I'm gonna get this kind of crap, I don't need to do this. I will do your zoning, but I will not do the junk cars. So you need to find somebody and vote on it. Somebody needs to do something, because I don't have to put up with that mouth over there.
Well,
I am doing my job, and he's just a lip.
I move to discontinue this auto,
It cannot be discontinued. Thank you very much.
I just moved the
I'll
motion.
second the motion.
We need a second to
So
carry.
now that we can talk about this calmly.
If it's discontinued, they're fine where they are.
It's not discontinued, you can't do that.
I'd have to get a second to the motion while these two gentlemen would have to.
So you guys say that the white one's op, we'll use it around the farm.
Oh, I use it.
Okay, and the red one you're gonna cover. Was that
He
correct?
actually is supposed to get it, but
Okay.
he's in a situation where he can't take it right now.
Sure, no, I understand the ground's wet, 100%, definitely.
No, well, it's not that. It's my brother, and he's going to give it to him.
Okay.
We just don't have a place to take it to right now.
Sure,
So until then,
definitely. 90 days?
I don't know.
Oh, 90 days.
that's our goal. That's cool.
So that's what I wanna know, is that's your goal, 90 days.
Behind the shed and park it. They allow it over there, it can be allowed here.
Well, that's probably what we'll do.
Is this part of the meeting over here, Ben? Is this the meeting over here?
This is the public being discussing.
The only conflict, you guys have any question?
Alright, so if we give you 90 days, would that be
I
sufficient?
believe you. I just,
And I'm
The white one's a non-issue, because you use it as a farm truck, correct? You've already stated that.
I'm sorry, that's okay.
Right. But the red one will be revenue within 90 days, correct?
I can't guarantee that, there's a good chance.
so that's the goal.
Well,
That's the goal.
well, here's just what's gonna happen. If it's not revenue in 90 days, it'll be reinvested. Okay, and we brought back up again. That's what'll happen. And,
That's your, 90 days.
sure.
That's our goal.
Definitely. Okay. Alright, well, I'll make a motion that we give, Mr. Tackett, both sons, right? Both the sons?
Yeah.
Both boys, 90 days to, remedy the problem with the red pickup truck, or the Ford pickup truck, correct? If you guys remedy within that timeframe, just let us know. We'll take it off the list.
Is there a second to the motion?
I'll second.
Roll call.
Move on.
Jeff,
Abstain?
Dan,
Yeah.
Ben.
Yes, ma'am.
I'm not here to talk to
Okay. Any other business, Barb?
you. Gonna vote on that?
No, not
Am I
tonight.
just gonna keep getting hassled by one trustee? Because I thought the trustees are supposed to
We just
support the
voted.
employees. I was hired as an employee.
Point of order,
I
we
was
just voted.
designated, I am speaking! Will you stop interrupting me?
We voted already.
I don't care, I'm talking!
Come on,
What the?
Farmhouse
This is
report.
wrong. He interrupts me all the time. I don't have to do this. You guys wanted me to do the job, you elected me to do the job, that's what I'm doing. I do not need to be harassed by a trustee. Either you guys are with it or you're not. Find someone else if you don't think I'm doing the job correctly.
I believe you're doing it correctly.
I do too.
I want to know if you want to continue doing it.
I want the harassment stopped. And this is harassment, whether you want to believe it or not. You disrespectful individual.
I move to discontinue these junk car hearings.
No, they can't be.
It would require a second and a vote and a majority.
We know how this works, Jeff, okay?
No, no,
Obviously, you
we're
didn't get a
doing-
second, okay?
Really? I bet you do.
Okay, listen,
You bet I do.
make a motion adjourn.
Before you go, can I have the floor for a second?
Sure,
I got you, I got two things I want you to read.
Sure.
And this is right off the internet. And it's from the Bowling Green. What you guys are going for is junk cars. Okay, read what he's highlighting.
Excuse me, I am leaving. I have an event to go
Thank
to.
you.
All right. Goodbye.
Sure it's not another stroke. Take it, read it out loud. I want them to hear it. That comes right out of the paperwork that you guys are going by.
Okay, correct. What other question?
Okay? Question is, how many people has she went and caught a junk car that did not fulfill all them criterias?
Honestly, I believe none. But if people can come in here and they can show us that they don't meet these criteria, then that's fine.
Well, she needs to find out about that criteria, you know, before she even files, because once the paperwork is filed, it's on record in the courthouse.
Okay.
Okay, so we show you that, you know, she's wrong, she's mistaken. It's still, it's on my record, it's not wiped off. I think it should be wiped off when it, you know, when it does not fit that criteria. Now, the second thing I want you to read, which I brought up many times about, you know, who made the phone call, who, you know, okay? This is on the next page. Read it. And say, what's the first paragraph say? Start from the beginning.
I'm gonna share it with the board now. What is it?
That she gets a written notice.
No, it says any person may file. May file doesn't mean they have to. It says they may. Okay.
Okay.
So it doesn't mean that
But
they
it
have to.
don't say she can take a phone call.
Yeah, that means like that she could take any kind of these. It says may file. Doesn't have to, but they may.
Are you referencing ORC or our zoning code or something? What is that from?
This is right off the internet, coming from the zoning regulation. And this is what the section that she pointed to me.
Okay.
And it says, you know, right here, the criteria of, you know, for the 3 car, you know, for a junk car. It has to have all 3 criteria to be a junk car.
Sure.
One is 3 years old or older, apparently inoperable.
Okay.
Third, extensively damaged, including but not limited to any of the following: missing wheels, tires, engine, or transmission.
Okay.
Now, she says she cannot go on anybody's property to check the vehicle.
Correct.
So how can she fulfill this portion of it right there if she can't go and look?
Well, obviously she can look.
She's just making up and saying
Exactly.
it's been sitting there. It's been sitting there for years. It's
No,
been
she's
sitting there for
taking
years.
aerial shots, flying over with an airplane, taking aerial
No,
shots.
And that's illegal too, because
All the time she is on every one of these.
I didn't say that, I said she
Exactly.
has.
Okay,
No,
you don't
no.
have the floor. Excuse me.
What about taking?
Excuse me.
Well, why does everybody else get to talk?
Excuse me. So let me explain this to you. Model, 3 years or older. You
Right.
understand that one, okay? Apparently inoperable. It's apparently, okay, which it may or may not be, but it just appears to be. Okay,
just because it's sitting in grass that ain't been mowed around or
It just
been
appears.
moved
Okay.
for
correct. It
For a
appears
long
to be,
time.
okay. And then extensively damaged, including but not limited to, okay? So it can
Okay.
include these, but it's not limited to these, so it could be other reasons besides these.
Okay.
It's not limited to just these. When this is brought forward, if you can prove that it's operable, just like the gentleman sat there and said it sits, but it's a farm truck, just like you guys came in and said they sit, but they're a farm truck. You prove to us that they're operable, okay? So
That's right,
so
but it's still on my record in the courthouse,
Who files it?
or at the, you say, you know, it goes on file, you know, and then when she files it, because it's got a,
I don't think it goes
I don't
anywhere
think it
past
does.
that.
nothing gets filed unless it gets taken to the misdemeanor.
No good.
okay, so this is my first warning.
Prosecutor.
Even though she's wrong, because everything's, operable,
Well, what vehicle?
and it was not a junk vehicle, I'm talking about all of them that she put down.
Okay,
And,
We-
even ones that she said didn't have tags on.
okay,
And she took a perfectly good view shot of my blue truck.
okay.
And you want to see the picture of the blue, well, you got the pictures. Look at the front tag on it. It's not an old tag, it's a new tag.
They haven't changed the tag in several years. so-
I know, but it's a new tag, so it's just because I moved it there for, to get out of the way while I worked on other stuff.
But when you come in here, did you show us that it was operable? Did you tell us it was operable?
Yes, I told you it was operable,
Then that-
okay.
then that's the
But
specs,
it's
right?
still, this is still on my record. If she comes out again,
Okay,
and, goes by and she sees a car, sees one of the vans or the truck or something sitting in high grass or something again where we hadn't mowed around it
okay,
or moved it. Then she's gonna file another one. That's gonna be the second offense,
okay.
which is not right because she didn't prove the first offense. Because she never went to it. And she says she can't go on people's property and knock on their front door, which is a lie because it's law that anybody can go to the
She
door.
didn't say she couldn't, she
Okay.
said she wouldn't.
I'm gonna ask you this.
Okay.
Did or does the township pay for her telephone?
They pay a
Just a
portion. I
percentage.
think it's $25.
Okay. If she can't go to the door, she can get on that telephone and call them on the telephone and have the same conversation on the telephone as going to the front door and knocking on the front door. But she refuses to do that.
It doesn't state in there she has to call them, go to the front door, anything like that. Yeah, I can understand what you're saying, 100%, definitely. But it doesn't state there that's what she has to follow, those guidelines, but.
Yeah, but I'm like, just like what Don says. This is on my record, so the next time she comes by, now that's a second
Who's it on
offense.
your record, but?
Well, you got copies of this,
Right,
at the township.
right,
So if I come in and she's got another one loaded up,
sure.
for the same offense,
The same
So that-
vehicle or another vehicle?
another vehicle don't make any difference. It's a junk car.
Right, if it's another vehicle, it'd be another case, right. But if it's the same vehicle,
Well, like they said, you can leave a vehicle set for 6 months. Because I've got tractors that have been sitting out there for a year and a half because I haven't had any use for it right now.
sure.
Grass has grown up, weeds has grown up around it, but it's not inoperable.
Definitely. I can understand concerns, definitely, but, she has guidelines and she follows them, so.
Yeah, but what I'm seeing here is she's not following them because
I believe she is, I'd explain it to you.
Well, what about-
I know.
Is she, now, I know back in the 60s, you could see a car go by and you could say, well, there goes a 67 Chevelle or something like that. Is she familiar with all the years of all the different kinds of cars? And knowing,
Like
well,
you.
that was only 3 years old, it's not junk.
Right. Well, I can't speak to her, but
Well,
like I said,
You know,
if you could come in here and say, that car's
no,
only 2
you
years old.
shouldn't have to go that far.
Sure.
This needs to be tabled,
And honestly, I don't think we dealt with anything that wasn't
but
less than
that's beside the
20
point.
years old.
Until you guys get a better handle on it, you need to just cancel the whole program.
It would need a second motion and then majority, then it'd be done.
Well,
Ben,
you know,
can you
you guys work for me. Like I told you guys before, you guys work for me, and this is ridiculous to come down here every month
Fight.
and listen to the same fight.
Sure.
Same old thing.
I know I
Why don't you guys just agree to cancel it until you get a better handle on it? apparently Barb doesn't wanna do the job, then find somebody else to do it,
Well,
or don't do it for now.
I don't think it's that she doesn't wanna do the job, it's for other reasons.
Well,
in my opinion, she's got certain ones she's picking out. Because
right.
in order to get to my place, I told her there's three vehicles within sight that she drives by.
Did you make
To
a,
get, to go to Tackett's place,
did you make a
there's one sitting right beside the road, that's not 10 foot off the road, that she drives past every day, up and down, nothing's hiding it. It's sitting there, been sitting there for years.
Did you make a report?
No, I didn't make a report.
Maybe
You
it's,
have to tell her.
maybe it's on her
Well, she
list.
said she
told her.
doesn't do a drive-by.
Maybe it's on her list, correct? I don't.
If it was on the list, then it would have been on there before mine was.
Not necessarily.
We've been sitting there a lot longer than mine has.
One more question. Go ahead, Will.
Yeah, I mean, I guess, you know, I'm listening to all this back and forth. I mean, this is a hot button issue, as you know. There's a lot of gray areas in this whole thing. There shouldn't be gray areas when you're doing stuff like this. It gets people upset, and what you're missing in this whole thing is the trustees are supposed to be kind of helping the
And we're not?
residents.
You don't think we're not?
Well, the only thing you're helping is bringing them in here and saying, well, you know, we'll give you a bunch of extra time. That's the only thing you're doing is you're calling court, making people come in to court, basically.
They don't have to. They can remedy before they have to.
Well, you don't understand what I mean.
Yeah,
They have to come in here, sit
They
here,
don't have to. They
take,
can remedy before they
take-
have to come in here.
but then again, if, like this guy, he had to come in and explain to you why this vehicle shouldn't have been listed. Harold and Barb had the same problem.
Sure.
They have to come in to explain something when he just made a good point. Why couldn't you make a phone call? Why is it
That's
that,
not in her.
yeah, but I'm just saying, those are gray areas that really would help the residents. I think you should start thinking about the residents that are going through this and think for what their perspective is on that. Personally, for me, to be hitting this stuff in
Yeah.
an agricultural district,
let's
it's
put it-
really a tough thing to
Let's put it in
do.
this perspective. If I make a phone call to you and we have a conversation, as soon as we get off the phone, you can say, I never talked to him.
Well, it's gonna be.
You could, but she's gonna record it, she's gonna write it down, that's gonna be, she does the record.
Just because
gonna
I
be
go in there, I
recorded
talk to
for
Bill Kearns, that means, you know.
No, what I'm saying is, if you're really trying to work with the residents, that would be the first step. That's all I'm saying. Cooperation, and if you got all these gray areas, which are coming out all over the place now,
No, I don't
why?
think they're gray areas, it's just areas that people don't understand.
Just because she's in a position doesn't make her right.
I'm gonna tell you this, I would have probably been in here. And you know what, that's what pisses me off about this whole deal, because I would have probably been in here, because I guarantee you, she would have shot one of the cars I had way in the back of my property that nobody would have seen, but she'd have flown over and saw it. It was an old car that was sitting in a farmer had, abandoned back there, because they were using it, you know, farming at one time and get in it. And I moved it eventually, but I didn't want you guys to come tell me what I was gonna do with it and when I was gonna move it. That was my job, it's my property, I've got the acreage, that's why I bought out here. I wasn't gonna have you guys tell me what I was gonna do on my own property, and that's what I think a lot of these people have a problem with, and I would too.
I can understand it.
I mean, that would piss me off.
Dan, excuse me, I'm bringing up, here's the two reports that was filed. Okay?
I've seen these,
Okay, if you look at the date, it says February 12th,
Second.
it's February the 2nd, 2012, at 2:08 p.m. or 18 p.m.
Okay.
is when she inspected that property.
Okay.
Okay. February 2nd, 2012, at 2:25 p.m.,
Okay.
she inspected my property.
Okay.
Okay. 2 different times did I get a letter. I got one letter the first day, and I got another letter the second day. Why wasn't both of them sent out at the same time when there was only about 5 minutes difference in the timeline that she went out and inspected?
Well, probably.
Or is she getting paid twice, turning in another, run out there to this other property and say, well, I went out here and took pictures of this and he's in violation.
There are 2 different cases, that's probably why you received 2 different letters, or 2 different addresses on
Well,
them.
it should have been mailed at the same time because she took them at the same time.
No, not really. They're 2 different addresses, 2 different cases.
Well, she knew the addresses was the same.
2 addresses, 2 different cases. So.
Yeah, well, I'm making a motion, John.
But one more question, thank you.
What about mine? They took pictures of mine, and they was labeled, insured, and tagged.
Your vehicle?
You're damn right, sitting right over there right now.
It has current plates on it.
Huh?
It has current plates on it.
What the hell else that plates on?
Can't do nothing,
That 79 Ford had plates on.
there's nothing wrong with it.
That's wrong. I do it at the junkyard.
But she wrote it up.
Sure.
She sent him a
Just
letter.
because she wrote it up,
Township funds were used.
just because she wrote it up,
I don't support
doesn't mean that we're gonna file action.
Guess what I'm saying is, the criteria that he was talking about, it didn't meet the criteria, but she still wrote it up. So you're saying she never made a mistake and you agree with her, well, that was a mistake.
I'm not saying everybody makes mistakes though.
Well, I mean, I heard you say, well,
Most of the time they went after him.
she's doing a good job, she's doing what she's supposed to do. Well, here's an instance where she didn't, you know.
Okay, and I got one other thing. You got the pictures, I gave you the pictures. If you look at the pictures, and you've seen the timeline the pictures was taken,
Okay.
then why has my vehicles in my house got an inch or two of snow on the ground that you can see across the grass and on the vehicle?
Okay.
You go down to my daughter's, and she took it from the road, cut it up the driveway, and there's not a drop of snow on the ground.
Okay.
But there's only 5 minutes apart. Now, what do we do? Go out and melt all the snow off of the property down the road?
That didn't say when she took the pictures, that was when she,
No, that said when she went out and she done the inspection. And when she done the inspection, she took the pictures at the same time when she done the inspection. That's why she'd take pictures.
you know, I can't speak for that.
That's why I brought up about the last meeting about her learning how to put the time and the date on the pictures that she's taken. Then there's no question about it. On what I've got a question about it. Snow on one, no snow on the other, and there's 5 minutes difference.
I asked her about that after we discussed that, and then she said she would work on getting that date and time on there. So, hopefully in the future it'll be on there. Okay, thank you.
Make a motion adjourned.
Second.